Hi guys, welcome to the third part of this series. From the previous sections, we were able to build this from the ground floor up, and then we added the windows, doors, and a little bit of furniture. And then I asked you guys to go ahead and add the rest. So in this part, we are going to be texturing, or let's say coloring, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's get down to business. Okay guys, so let's texture the building. So for this, from our reference, we can see that the walls here is gray, yellow, and then the window, the PVCs, they are all gray as well. Okay, so we have to assign material slot to it. Let's switch to the viewport to material preview so that we can see our materials as we are assigning it. Okay, so I have assigned some materials like I previously said, but I removed some of them so that I'll be able to explain for you guys as I proceed. Okay, so let's go ahead. For this one, remember, is the front and the back joined together. Okay, so for this, I'll come to my material slot and then I'll just create a new material. Let's call it gray. And then I'll click here, then just switch the slider down a bit. So this is gray. So this is very easy to assign this kind of material to this because I'm not putting any concrete texture, any PBR. It's just like painting, right? Just slap a color on it, right? So that's what I just did here. Okay, and then I can also borrow material from here. I can click on this, come to material, and then search for the gray, or I can click this one, shift click on this, Control L, and then link materials. Okay, sweet. And then this is just yellow, same thing. We can just come here and create and just create a new material slot, name it yellow, and then just slap in a yellow color there, and then as usual, let's link materials. Very simple and fast, right? Okay, but for the windows, what I did was that there are various ways of creating materials in Blender. I just showed you one of them, which is just coming here and just assigning basic color to the material slots, and then maybe onto the metallic and all that stuff. That's fine. And then the other one is using PBR materials, right? So this material for the door, this texture you're seeing, this is a PBR material. It was created inside of Blender that I did not need to UV unwrap. Are you seeing? So this is a plugin I got that did this. Not that I cannot do it, but it takes time. When the plugin makes it easier, you'll see me. I'm gonna get that plugin. So yeah, so this is a plugin I use in adding this texture. I don't need to UV unwrap and all that stuff. It works fine. You just need to, learn how to do your settings and all that stuff. You can learn it, be my guest, but I ain't talking about it in this section. And then the other one that most people use, I do use it, yeah, it's getting textures online from various platforms. So you can get textures from Polyheaven, from Polygon, from Fab, and IBM CG, and yeah, there are so many places to get that. We are going to touch that, but let me explain how I did the materials for the window. So first of all, the door and this window and this back window, I used for everything I use Archimesh, right? The Archimesh plugin. Okay, you can go and check out the previous videos if you've not. So, and I use the panel window for the doors and the front and back window. And I think this, I don't know, but yeah, I use panel windows for a couple of them there. So when you click on this window frame, for example, and then you see PVC, plastic, and glass. So when I change the color for this PVC, let me change it again. So you see let me make it brighter so that you can see the difference. Okay, yeah. So because of each and every one of them has the same material slot, the color all changes according to what I did. And as for this one, I have already linked the materials. These are real windows. I have linked the materials. I say these are real windows, and from Akimesh plugin. So I have linked the materials together. That's why you see when I change the PVC, everything changes. So I selected this one and shift select this one, and then like I did, Control L, link material and all that stuff. Okay, cool. So let's switch back to the gray. I prefer the gray. Okay, fine. So let's proceed to adding the materials for the staircase. And as usual, I like optimizing my scene. You see, I've deleted the bottom of the staircase and then this part because we are not going to see it, guys. Why should I why should I leave it? Don't worry, I'll show you some other stuff. And as for this one, I think I did this is not the document, or this is not the Blender file. But yeah, for things that you are not going to see like this, let me just show you one. Apply solidify modifier. Let's leave the array. And I think I don't want the bevel. I'll explain. Okay, cool. So for this, I can select this back and just X to delete faces. And then isolate. And you can spread. I go back to my preview. You see? Not visible. Gone. And it's fine. I optimize my work a lot. So I go around, checking things that need to be deleted. This, for example, too. I can select this one, X delete faces. Let's see how it looks. Okay, I think I can see delete more. We don't want the top and we don't want the bottom. They ain't gonna be seen. So why not take it out? The space and the gap. Beautiful. So that's how I go around optimizing my scene, deleting things that are not going to be seen or necessary. And then another thing I also did was that I organized my scene. You see these empties that were showing for the panel windows, the real windows, and the doors. I have gone ahead and I moved them to a collection called Eden. Is it? Okay, yeah, they are. So I hid them. You could move them to a collection. Let me unhide everything. Cool. So what I did was that you can go and select them like this, one after the other, and then press M, create a collection and move them to the collection, no problem. But what I like to do is this. I'll come to select. Make sure you're not selecting everything when you want to do this operation. I explain it in the second part, okay? So I'll come to select, and I'll come to select patterns, and I'll type group, and I'll press the asterisk and enter. You see, everything with the name group is selected. I'll just press H to have it hidden. And then this one is called baseboard. So same thing, I can come here, select patterns, and search for CTRL underscore baseboard. And all of them are going to be selected. And then I can just press H to hide it. And, that's how you select things when they are more. For something like that is small, you can easily just go around and click, and then just do what you need to do, okay? That's fine. So let's move forward. Okay, so let's texture this staircase, right? And I'm going to use textures from Polygon. I have gone ahead to download the Polygon add-on. It's very easy to download. Just go to the website. This is a website, polygon.com. So, and then I downloaded the plugin, the Blender plugin, and you saw me, I just drag and drop. This is because I'm using Blender 4.2. And if you are using, you see, if you are using any other version apart from 4.2 and above, you will have to go to add-ons and then you see one big install button here. You click on install, go to where you have a directory, and then you just click on it, and yeah, as I install it. So for this, I'm going to select a folder where I'm going to have my textures. Just name it polygon. Okay, then I'll select it. So there you go. So everything I'm downloading is going to go into this place. And then you can do some other settings if you want to. Okay, so that's that. So let's go to press the end panel, open Polygon, and then you do login via browser. It's going to take you to a web browser, copy, and then this is the one I want to use. It's logged me to an other account. I had to switch to this account. Okay, so I'm logged in. Let's see. Okay, cool. So now you can browse whatever you want to browse from here. Okay, so you can purchase Pro if you want to purchase Pro. So while in Polygon, I'm just going to click on categories and switch to free. And then it's going to load. Let's give it time to load. Here we go. So now we can get the free marble. So this is one. I'll show you another one. Okay, that's that. And then click on apply. You see, it's applied and it's looking beautiful. And then mapping is saying UVs. You know, we can switch to different mapping formats here, but let's leave it like that for now. Okay. So for this, let me show you something. Let me bring in, I've already gone ahead and I have unwrapped this, right? And you can see because I've unwrapped it, that's why when I apply the texture, it's looking fine. Let me show you something. Let's say I have a cube. Let's bring it somewhere there. So it's, you know, I'm trying to see if I can get okay, let me see. Nice. Okay, this is cool, but let me make it deform some more. Okay, cool. Island not working, so let's see. Let's apply the same materials to it. Okay, can you see? It is still looking a little bit fine, but can you see the stretching here? This place is stretched. That's caused by UV, and this part is also stressed. Okay, so that's why you need to learn to that's why you need to learn to UV your models if you are going to be taking textures externally. Okay, so for this, I can go ahead and just press use Smart UV project, and it's going to unwrap. And you see that stretch texture is gone. Or maybe if I don't want to do that, I can come here and start marking same one after the other like this. There are no rules to marking same. Just put it in a place where the eye is not going to see, because can you see the flow from here and then here like this? Can you see? Are you seeing here the flow? So that's because of that's where I put my seam. Okay. So back to this one. I have already UV unwrap it, so that's why the textures are applying very well to it. So another thing I want to do is this. Let's go to the shading tab. Now there's no edge is this razor sharp in real life. Okay, let me turn on cavity. Okay, cool. No edge is this razor sharp in real life. You can see how sharp it is. That's because I did not apply the bevel modifier, but I don't want to apply bevel modifier because I will have to UV unwrap again and all that stuff. Yeah, I can do it, but you can do it, but the fact is that there are some stuff that you don't really need to add a bevel modifier to, where you know you can just do a little tweaking here and there and you will still get the same results. Sorry, I don't like displacement maps. Okay, so for this, what to do is simple. I'll just let's just click and drag the normal, and then let's search for bevel. Let's put it somewhere. Okay, so let me switch to my render, because I have to be in the render mode to be able to see this, and I will have to be in cycles. Sorry guys, this does not work for Eevee yet. It's just on cycles. And let me tune down. I think this is too big. Let me tune it down a bit. Can you see? It's looking beautiful. Let me increase the samples. So yeah, this is beautiful. Okay, so then I can now plug this. Let's do this. Let's just plug it to this and yada yada. So cool. You see, simple and beautiful. So let's continue with let's continue with applying textures. So for the wall, let's get let's see. So before I do the textures of the wall, remember that we use the solidify modifier, and I've gone ahead and I've applied solidify modifier. Now I want to apply the boolean modifier as well. Okay, because if I go to edit mode, see, so I want to apply it. Click, now click apply. So here it is, applied. Now I would want to UV unwrap this. So I'll go on, I will switch to the UV workspace. Let me go to local view so that I know I'm just selecting this. And as you can see my UVs are horrible. So let me UV unwrap this. So for me to UV unwrap, like I told you guys earlier that there are no rules to UV unwrapping. So I'm just going to mark a seam anywhere I feel like marking the seams. Not really anywhere, but it's more like this is a wall, so I think it would be easy to just mark seam and all that stuff. I would also want to explain something to you guys, but it will be later in the video, okay? Because of the kind of materials I want to apply, the materials I want to apply are in my head. So that is also helping me to narrow down where to put my seam and where not to put my seam. It seems I made a little mistake around here, but the eye is not going to see it, so why bother? You see, this is fine, and then it's just here that's remaining. Okay, so I've marked seam, and let me do something, guys. So you see, this is poorly unwrapped. Okay, so you know that's how the exterior of your house can be white or purple or gray or whatever the color is outside, but the interiors will be different. Okay, so let's still do that same workflow here, which means I will still have to do proper UV editing. So this is the exterior and now this is the internal. So I'm going to mark seam on all the walls like this. Okay, so mark seam. Let's see what we have. Oh, not done for the bathroom. Let's see, unwrap. Almost there. Okay, just like the top, we also need to do for the bottom. But for me, I know that we're not going to see the bottom part of the house. So I'm going to delete it. And then let's see. Okay, beautiful. Almost there. Time to cut out the slot for the window. Let me see, where do I want it to be? Should it be around here? Whatever part is fine. You just choose the one that works fine for you. I think this is fine for me. So I'm going to maxim around. Be careful, guys. I just saw that, so I'm going to remove it. Maxim. Maxim. Let's see how it looks like now. You unwrap. Okay, almost there. So there is this you can see that when I select here, it's not it only shows what I selected, what I have selected over here. But if I want it to be in sync, all I have to do is to click on this icon here. It's called UV sync. So it means that when I select something here, it's going to be selected here. So now I want to like trace where I'm having issues within my UVs. Here, for example, it means that something going on around here. Oh, remember that this should be a separate UV space because of the material we're applying to it. Not really, but there are ways to, go about it, even if I did not UV it. So let's see. I'm having error here. Where is it? Okay, this part. Why is it reading error? Okay, here you are. No, but I like it like this. Up. Let's see. Why is this giving me error? Oh, you. Okay, Maxine. I feel like there's an overlap here. Okay, it's fine. Let's see. Unwrap. Okay, so this is how I'm going to troubleshoot it and find out where there are problems till I'm satisfied with what I have. I'm going to fast forward the video and come back later. So here you have it. I have finished making my UVs. Okay, so let me show you something. Let me explain UVs a bit. Okay, I'm going to hide all of this and then just bring in a cube. Okay, so this is a cube. Let me add switch this to UV grid. I'll say image. Okay, so this is this default cube. If we check the UVs, you'll see that this default cube is automatically UV'd for us. But if I should go ahead and start doing any adjustments, you see, I'll start having weird deformations, okay? Like the UVs are weird, okay? So let's go back to this part. So automatically when you bring in any mesh object, Blender give them automatic UVs, but we need to learn how to UV our mesh ourselves, okay? So if I go to my UV editing workspace, let me just make this, let me deform this stuff a bit. Let me load in this image. Where is it? Okay, cool. So let me use project on view. Okay, cool. So that's all we have. So there are various UV unwrapping technique. Okay, we have various types. So this unwrap is a manual way, this smart UV project, is light pack, and so many other ones. But we want to focus more on the manual method of unwrapping. Okay, so now that I have, can you see, I have stretched my, or I have UV'd wrongly, and you can see that my textures are looking stretched in some areas and all that stuff. So if I were to unwrap this, all I have to do, unwrapping is an act of trying to tell Blender how to wrap a 2D texture into a 3D object. Okay, so we're trying to wrap this grid texture into a 3D object. So as you can see, this is just like is a wrong projection. That's what I have in the stretch. So if I were to select an edge here, then select this one under, okay, holding down shift to select, and then I'll go to Ctrl E, or I can go to edge menu and I'll say maxim. So when we say maxim, we're telling Blender where to put in a scissors and cut the edges. Okay, so now I've done maxim. So look at this. When I press A, I can come to UV and I'll say unwrap. Can you see the top and the bottom? They are well. Let me show you. The top and the bottom have good texture, while the rest part of the cube, this is it, it's not properly textured. So what we literally did was that we cut out this part. Let me hide it, and then these other ones, Blender squash it down, like trying to spread it around to have this texture, this UV unwrapping that we are seeing here. Okay, that's why it looks like this. Okay, so if we want to have that proper texture, all I have to, let me select a particular edge, okay, and then go Ctrl E, maxim, press A, U, unwrap. So can you see we have this beautiful texture, beautiful unwrap? Okay, so if we want to do this, if we want to cut it the way it was, like if we want to cut it to look like what we had from the beginning, so I'll go Ctrl E, clear scene. So I have to select this. So what I'm trying to do now is I want to open, right? I want to cut some part out so that it will open like a door, right? So just watch this. So I'm going to maximum. This is one method I like using a lot when I am working on a square or rectangle object. So I'll select this edges like this, okay, and then I'll say Ctrl E, maxim, A, U, unwrap. So this is one method. Okay, so if I want to make it look like what we had from the beginning, so I'm just going to, like I told you earlier, maxim these edges and then the bottom, okay, like this, and then I'll just select any of the edges around here, anyone at all. So let me just select this, press AU, unwrap. So you see, so we have that fine unwrap. So this is going to give us a fine UV. So you can see if you scale up, so when you scale up, the texture will become smaller, and then when you scale down, the texture will be bigger. Okay, so that's that. And then we can rotate. Okay, you can rotate and all that stuff depending on what you want. So there are various times when you have to rotate and try to fit things. Okay, and then another thing that you can do is this. If I were to use Smart TV project, can you see this? But you can see that our textures are not seamless. Alright, so if you were to do a metallic object or something like that, or paint, this is fine. But if when you want a seamless texture wrapping, you will have to manually do it. Okay, so I hope you understand. So let's move back to our. Okay, so let's move ahead with the texturing of the walls. Okay, so let me switch to the UV editing workspace, and then let's proceed with this. Remember that this sync is on, because if I want to, let me first apply the grid so that you'll see how it looks like. Okay, so to apply the grid, I can, I've deleted that grid I created. Okay, let me show you using a plugin. The UV toolkit, it comes defaultly in Blender. You can just search for it from Get Extension. That's if you're using Blender 4.2 and above, I presume. So you can get the UV toolkit from that Get Extension, or you can go to their website and get the UV toolkit. It's a great add-on, like a very beautiful add-on. I use it a lot. So go get yours. Okay. So let's see. I have to disable this sync, right? Even from the plugin, you can disable the sync. So if I enable the sync, for example, and I select, let me say I select these vertices, you can see that it's selecting this and this, because now I cannot select a single island because it is referring to its neighbor according to the way we cut our seams around. Okay, so what to do now is this. I have to toggle off sync. I can come here and disable sync. So now when I select a particular island, I can just select them one after the other. You see? Okay, beautiful. So let's go ahead and see. Okay, I'll scroll down and then I'll add in I want to add in the grid. So I'll just click on this and voila, it's going to add the grid for us rather than me creating it. Okay, so let me select this one, and then let me turn on sync first, and then I'll just select this part, and then from this menu, open it and select only UVs so that you will select just an island. If this thing is not selected, when I press L to select link, it's going to select the whole entire structure. But when I restrict it to just the UVs, and it's just going to select by island. Okay, but if I do seam, it's going to select and stop at where I have a complete seam. Okay, so let's use UVs. So I'll just get this, and then I'll disable this sync. I'll have just this part. Okay, so let me press U and unwrap, and can you see when I unwrap just this by itself, look at how it looks. Remember that it's a full structure. Okay, so we need everything, every single wall needs to be on this UV grid that you're seeing here. Okay, let me go back to making it small. So I can select this edge and I'll align it flat. I can select this bottom like this, and I'll do this and this one, and I'll do this. So can you see that this island is overlapping on this island? This is not good. This small space that you're having here is not good. Having an overlapping island can cause you a problem, but if you know what you are doing, that is fine. You can work with it like that. Okay, there are times when I use overlapping islands a lot when I don't want to repeat a particular texture. Okay, I'm in my 3D viewport, not my UV workspace. So I can press Ctrl I and I'll hide everything so that I will just, okay, let me go to local view. Okay, so now this is what I have. Can you see? So now I'm trying to I want it flat, like flat here. Okay, but you can see that we are having some weird distortions. How do I go about this? Since there are no faces under here, that is fine. So it means that here we have a cut around here, a cut around here, and then this one, this cut, should we have it? Yes, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And then there's a cut here. Okay, so I think I should put a cut around here. So let's see how it's going to look like this time around. Oh, I forget to unpin my vertices. Let's see. How does it look like? This is much better. Yep. But remember, we still have the rest. Let me show you. If I press Alt H, now we're having overlap, which is wrong because the rest of the structure is still there. So we need to properly fix it. Okay. So let me go back to this, and I can see that the textures are not matching with the windows, are they? No, they aren't. Okay, so which means I will have to cut that maxim. So let me see how it looks like. Yeah, much better, much better. So I will go ahead and do same thing for the rest parts of the wall. So remember, in edit mode, I will select a particular UV space like this, and then let me Ctrl I and H so that I can isolate it and think, okay, how do I want it to be? How do I want it to look? With this, I get to narrow it bit by bit, okay? So remember, I will put a cut around here, maxim, and in the front too, maxim. And then let's put a cut around here, maxim. So let's see how it's going to look like now. Here to select everything, U and unwrap. Let's see, how does it look? Where's the front? Beautiful, can you see? Nice. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do for the rest parts of the scene, and then I'll come back and continue the explanation. Let me pause and show you something. So while I was UV unwrapping, I was having issues with this part. So I'm like, what is wrong? Why is it deformed and all that stuff? So, and then I realized that when I should zoom in, you see, can you see? Double vert, which means the seam I marked didn't go through. Let me zoom into it. Check. Can you see? So there's this empty space here that I did not mark seam, so it did not cut properly. That's why we're having this distorted UV. So I will just select both of them and then slide it down. GG to slide down. Same thing for this two. GG to slide down. And then I can come here. GG to slide down. Come here. GG to slide down. Now press A, select everything, and merge by distance. You see, 8 vertices removed. Okay, so now let me try unwrapping. Aha, beautiful. So I'm going back to working. Okay, so here you go. I have everything UV unwrapped beautifully. Grid is looking fine, and there are no distorted or stretched UV. Beautiful. But now we are having this overlaps. Okay, so what I can do now is, now there's another plugin I'm using. It's not free. It's called UV Pack Master. A very beautiful add-on. Yeah. So, but if you're using this UV toolkit, you can just come down here and say pack, and then it's going to pack it the same thing. Or you can, if you don't want to use add-on, while it's selected, you can right click and you can say, right click, you come to UV, you go down and say pack islands, and then give you some extra function, give it time, and then it's going to pack. But I prefer using UV Pack Master. Then I do this, and then I'll set the time to like let's say 6 seconds. Wait time, let's wait for 10 seconds, and another thing. That is fine. And then pack. So it's going to form different type of packing and choose the best result for me. And this is the best result. Okay, beautiful. So here you have it. I think we're lacking something around here. Okay, no, it's fine. But if I want to make it seamless, I can start tracing where this map is and start fixing it. But I'm gonna leave it so. Okay, so with that, let's me go back and I'll do same thing for this internal wall, and then I'll get back to the tutorial. Beautiful, beautiful. This is beautiful. If we want to add the same shaker texture, I can come down here and then yeah, it was 1K we added. So you see, nice. So now I can apply the Boolean modifier, and I see I have nice UVs. Okay, you see, I would have done this from the onset. You see, but as long as I don't mistakenly go and press unwrap, you see, it's going to be distorted. So as long as that is not done, this is what we have. Remember, you're not going to see this. The door is going to be there. So why bother yourself? Is it this tiny information you want to put? Well, if you'll be looking at that point, you can go ahead and do what we did. But now this texture is kind of smaller than this. I can go to edit mode, select everything, and then I can start scaling. Let me see if I select this one instead, press A, and then I scale it out a bit. Yeah, if I scale it out a bit, I'll start having almost the same texture size. Yeah, I think this is it. This is fine. Or I can go back, can select all of them like this, and then I can, pack all of them to be one like this. And let's see, nice. All of them are one texture size, so I can now go ahead and start texturing. Okay, with that, I can remove my shaker texture. I don't need it. Come to the plugin. I'll say remove our shaker texture. So let's go back and do the texturing. So for the texturing, I want to download textures from Polygon, or rather Polyheaven. So I'll go to the website and then I'll open Polyheaven, or let me check out ambient CG. Which one do you think is fine? Let's just take this concrete. Or let me search for paint. I don't know if I'll say anything like paint. There's a paint. So let's take what's this? I don't want it to be rough. I just want a very fine, seamless texture. Let's take this. This is concrete, right? Let me see. Well, let me come here to Polyheaven and see if I can search for paint. Go to walls and plaster painted plaster wall. Okay, we have one here. What about ambient CG? This is nice. You know what? Let's take from ambient CG. I'm just going to take 2K now on PNG. So I'll download it. I'll be back. Okay, so my download is ready. Let me switch to the shading workspace and let's call this walls. Let's call it walls. I want it outer. Okay, for example. So now I can come here, click on the principal BSDF and then Ctrl-Shift-T. Node Wrangler is something you want to be enabled. Like a plugin always needs to be enabled. Always, guys, Node Wrangler saves your life. So select the principal BSDF, Ctrl-Shift-T. Oh, I have not extracted. Okay, so now it's extracted. I can come here and just navigate to where I have it. So I just want color, OpenGL and directrix. I'm going to take directrix and roughness. I don't want displacement map. Don't need it. So I can press principal texture. Oh, we didn't get the normals. Let's get the normals. Okay, normals OpenGL color. I thought I selected directrix. Let's see. So it didn't give us directory, so it's OpenGL. So let's get this. OpenGL works fine. So you see, we have this, but remember that our grid was big, right? So that's why we're having these big bumps and the likes. Remember, our strength is still, the normal strength is still too much. Let's put it to be like 0.2. Okay, this is fine. So now to fix this extra big layers, so I can come to my mapping. Let me zoom in, guys. So under scale, okay, I just wanted to see it. I'm in mapping and under scale. I can select this and let me say 4. Can you see? Beautiful. I think 4 is fine. Did it? Let's add 2 more. Let's say 6. Okay, lovely. Yeah, that's nice. And then we also want, oh, we forgot this guy. Okay, I'll just quickly do it. And then I'm going to link materials. Okay, nice. From our reference, we have a wooden texture at the back. Okay, so I'm going to download another wood texture. This time around, let me use the polygon plugin again. So remember we have it here, and then let's go to free, and then let's search for wood. We don't have the kind of wood according to our reference, so you can search on the internet. Let's just take this. I think I like this one, so I'll download 2K. Oh, it didn't take time. It's done. Okay. So now I want to apply the texture to it, to this part. I'll just use this one and I'll just apply this to it. Nice. So what else? Okay, for the inner part of the house, sometimes the outer part of your house can be painted gray or whatever color it is, and then the inner will be different, right? So how do we achieve the same results? Where it is, remember that just like what we did here, we are still going to do the same in the inside. I don't know if I should just leave it white, but if peradventure you don't want it to be the same color with the outer part of the house, you can select these are the rooms. Well, you can select the walls, and then, whatever material you want to use for it, you can add to it. But for me, let me see if I can find a good material. My room is painted white, so I'm going to leave it white. But I don't want these cracks on it. How do I get rid of it? Okay, that's on the texture. So I'm going to use this one from Polygon. So download. Okay, it's done downloading. So I'll select this and then I'll apply it. Remember, you have to adjust the scale from that place again. So for this one, I'm just going to use the same white texture all around. So let me go to my shading workspace and see the future. Revival is here. This is scale, so I'll just make it 6. Then how does it look? Beautiful. And then if peradventure like you wanted to give this some other colors, right? How are you going to do it? So let's select the outer wall and then let's go to our material. Where is it? Yeah, is it? So if I want to add some color to it, I can add in, let's search for RGB, mix RGB. Where is it? Okay, it's color. I was thinking of the old Blender node, so this is color. So I'll plug the color to this, and then remember it's mixed, so I can now tweak this color to whatever house color you think works fine for you. You can use that. So this is just a way to texture it, okay? Rather to change the color. You can, when you increase this factor to 1, it's going to, let me show you. When this factor is 1, it's favoring more of this B part than the A part. When it's 0, it's favoring the A part than the B part. So since we want to color it, let's just put it to 1. We still have our normals and all that stuff. I think I'll leave it white, so I'm just going to reset it. White is fine. It's same thing with our reference, okay? So white is fine. Okay, so I've shown you this. So let's go for the door. Now remember that we used Mesh to get this door, and then our UVs. If I go to edit mode, the UVs are not there. Okay, so let's UV this. So I can just come here, press use Smart UV project for quick and dirty UV. Okay, if we add the shaker material to it, sometimes it works like a sham. You see, works like a sham, guys. So let's add in a wooden texture and let's use our polygon, or you can go and download textures online. The reason I'm showing you polygon, if you have the money to subscribe for it, it's wonderful. You can subscribe to it and enjoy the old. So let me search for wood. Oh, I forgot. We don't have a fine wood material that is free. Okay, let me show you another one. Real-time materials. Okay, I have to be in shading. Yeah, here it is. And then I'll search for wood. So this was what I use, but this is a PBR based material, okay? That's what I use for the doors around here, okay? But I want, should I show you this? No, let's go and download some wooden textures online. So let's go to Beautiful Wood. Oh, yeah. And it's free. I'll get this, and I don't know what to get next. Well, I'll just get only one, please. I'll get 2K PNG. See you on the flip side, guys, when it's done downloading. Okay, it's done downloading, and then I'll create a new texture. Let's call it door. And then, oh, I need to extract it. Okay, so I forgot to mention this. Just like Polygon, right? There's a plugin that this ambient CG uses. It's called Easy PBR. So you can come to the website and just search for Easy PBR, and then you can download it. I've gotten it before, so you can download it and install it. It's a very good add-on. It works like Polygon, and it's free. Okay, so let's proceed. Press Ctrl Shift T, and then let me navigate to where I have that texture. Remember, I want roughness, normal as OpenGL, and then color, that stuff. Nothing. We don't want displacement or directories. Okay, so there you go. Our good looking door. You can further up and put some, extra materials here and all that stuff, but I'm going to ignore it and just move on. Okay, so for the floor, remember that we made the floor different compartments. These are the individual rooms. So we can want a particular texture for this, and then different texture for this. Definitely, this is the bathroom, and then we're going to use a tile for this one. Okay, so I'll go and download the tile texture for it. For the rooms, I also want different kind of tile for the rooms. Let me search if Polygon has a free tile texture. Okay, they do. This could be for the bathroom. Let's search for marble instead of tile. Let me see if there's any free marble. It does have one. Okay, so let's apply that one to this. Okay, so apply for the bathroom. I like it. And remember, you can also apply different texture for the walls. Okay, go ahead and do yours, and don't forget to share your work with me. I would love to see what you created. And then for the floor, for this part, I'm thinking of the textures. Oh, you can see that I applied the texture, but it is not working. I forgot that I have not UV unwrap. So since this is just a plane, I'm sure that the unwrapping is going to be very simple. Just select everything and then unwrap. Let's switch back to our shading tab. No wonder. Now here you have it. So let's go ahead and look for different textures for the house. For the rooms, for example, let's get another one from ambient CG. So back to our ambient CG, and let's search for a good marble texture. Oh, there are some beautiful ones here. Lovely. Guys, support ambient CG so they can be giving you free textures like this, guys. These are some next level textures. You have to create this yourself. You spend your whole time creating this when you can just get it for free. Oh well, let's just use any random one. I think this black. I love the black. I'll get this black. Okay. I'll just show you with this, and then I'll move on ahead with the rest part of the tutorials. Okay, they're done downloading. You know the drill. So while the floor is selected, this time around we're not using Polygon, so create 2 slots. Let's call this one material living room. Then this one, let's say material rooms. Just R is fine for me. Rooms. Don't mind my naming convention. So for the living room, I'm going to go to where I have my materials. I think this is it. Remember OpenGL, guys. You can see I've added it, but it is not visible. Okay, so I'll select just the living room and the kitchen, and then I'll select this and assign. Amazing. So for these ones, I think I'll make the rooms 17. So I'll select this and then navigate to where I have it. And then what's this? If it's too colorful, I'm just going to leave it to be white. Okay. But we need to adjust the scale. Let's make it 6. Lovely. I like this. Same thing for the living room too. I think I just want 2 for this one. Aha. Like it. So go ahead and do yours. Okay, so time for the roof. Save your work, guys. So for the roof, dimensions are given for the roof. So I can see I have the dimensions here, and come on guys, I've explained this before, so I believe you can do it. So I'm just going to speed through. I'm looking at my references, looking at the dimensions, so I'm going to speed through modeling the roof. Okay, so here we have it. Roof done. Check my list if I have any other stuff to do. Okay, so yeah. And then you can add in these lights, those outside lights, flowers and all that stuff. It's your choice, guys. You can get some of them from the Polygon. I think there are some free stuff you can get on Polygon. Yeah, look at TV, look at cushions, delete this place. Okay, these are all the free models that you can get from Polygon, guys. I'll make it free. Okay, you can use these lights, microwave, kitchen sets. Yeah, so please share your work with me. I would love to see what you've done. So that's gonna be a wrap for now. Bye and see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.